It is a time of absolute chaos in the WWE. You've got massive news, Netflix deals, scandals with Vince McMahon, new board members with The Rock, and you also have a massive main event fiasco stirring as we head on the road to WrestleMania. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the pilot episode of the Spandex Standups. I am your host, Evan Berke, here with the other host, Drew Harrison.
What's up, man?
Oh my gosh.
You got to worry sometimes when you say wrestling and pilots. You know, plane rides and wrestling haven't really gone hand in hand over the years.
No,
you know?
And honestly, with what we're about to talk about, do we have a metaphorical plane crash
on our way? Okay, well, first off, like before we get into this and really break it down, I got to know just overall initial thoughts.
Oh my gosh, overall initial thoughts.
Are they doing too much? Are you on board with what's going on?
Oh my gosh, well, I love it. I love every minute of it.
My
I'm
whole
here
thing
for
is
the ride.
in pro wrestling chaos.
It's absolute chaos. It's absolute
so
chaos.
What are we worried about?
I mean, for those of y'all that are just tuning in to the world of pro wrestling, we know there's a lot of you because the stories are so good. We're blending reality with fiction, and it's amazing. For those of y'all just catching up, we have Cody Rhodes rejoined WWE, what, 2-3 WrestleManias ago? I think it was two at this point.
Well, when it last, like, right before the Royal Rumble last year?
Yeah, no, he came back. It was a big surprise. It was the Dallas WrestleMania.
Okay.
He returned to fight Seth Rollins. It was a big comeback story.
Okay, so
he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. They are a royal wrestling family because you've got Dustin Rhodes, Gold Dust. There's a lineage there. Dusty Rhodes, again, for those of y'all just joining the wrestling world.
So much there.
There's so much there. Dusty Rhodes,
Son of a
in
plumber.
his, was a legend in his time as a wrestler, but also in his older years, worked at the Performance Center and helped so many of today's superstars become.
I love seeing the people,
the performers they are today.
Yeah, I love when they're like, I wouldn't be. There's no, because Roman says it. Roman's like, there's no Roman Reigns without Dusty.
Exactly,
You know?
So that's what makes this story so good. Is Cody Rhodes left the business for a while. He left WWE, did a lot of independent stuff, ended up creating WWE's biggest competitor, AEW. Yeah. Building AEW up to what it is today, which is, again, a great competitor to WWE. Yeah. And then Cody Rhodes leaves, rejoins WWE, comes back and basically says, I'm here to finish the story.
One job only.
I'm here to finish the story. And, oh my gosh, if you had told me that Cody Rhodes would come back, win the Royal Rumble twice, only to now be having just gotten slapped in the face by The Rock.
Which, by the way, that's my wife's input on this. She said that was the weakest slap she's ever seen in her life.
Well,
she said Rock's got to step it up. You hear,
Rocky? Rock came out.
Next time you slap Cody Rhodes in the face, it better have some feeling behind it.
Well, he came out in that black wife beater, and I was just like,
The Rock says, I love that. So that was my initial impression is, oh God, we got to get Cody and Seth again. That was the only downfall of this. Is I wasn't necessarily against Rock Roman per se. I just didn't want to see another To be honest with you, I didn't want to see my guy Seth take another L to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
because that's what would happen.
And we're going to talk about Seth taking L's. He's taking L's left and right
poor
now.
Guy,
I
man.
mean, he's taking shots
He
on
tried
his
he
wardrobe.
tried his best to be in part of that press conference.
They're taking shots on the title. They're taking shots on him across the board.
I do love the title. Which, speaking of which, you got your version of Big Goldie. I love the title that he carries.
I love it too, and he's a great champion. He's a great champion.
He's getting the Drew McIntyre treatment, man. I feel like we're taking him for granted. Guy's really carrying Raw right now, and has been.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, ooh, Roman, Cody, Rock, what's up?
Well, because again, it's hard not to, I'm not going to lie, in that press conference when The Rock said, he goes, I'm about to show you something, and I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you don't like it.
I thought
you
we were
love
screwed,
it.
man.
You hate it. He goes, you're going to respect it. And when they showed that family tree of the bloodline, when they showed the lineage,
Jacob Fatu was on there.
What makes this WrestleMania so great is everyone's right.
Yeah.
Rock and Roman are right in the sense that Rock and Roman at WrestleMania is the biggest WrestleMania main event of all time.
It just doesn't happen to
Cody
be the one we want.
Rhodes is also right that he run the Royal Rumble and he deserves, a shot at this. Then you've got The Rock telling Triple H after the press conference, you need to fix this.
I love how they brought him in on this, because that was the whole buzz in the internet wrestling community. Is I heard it immediately is Rock's got his own creative, and is he going to try to oust Triple H? Because
The Rock is right to say that, because at the end of the day, The Rock is he Triple H's boss? Is that how the board of a company works?
That's terrible if that is, which is funny.
But then we have Triple H on SmackDown coming out last night, basically saying, nobody tells me what to do. I decide what's happening.
That was one of the best promos Triple H has done in a hot minute.
And, that is leading me to, honestly, when you think about the history of Triple H, when you think about the history of The Rock, I don't think The Rock is back for just one match.
It doesn't look like it.
I really think if we're going to really talk about like what's going on here.
Yeah. Speak on it, man.
Ari Emanuel, bought WWE. He owns Endeavor and UFC, and
which is funny. He's just collecting. He picked up the UFC first, and it's up WWE.
Yeah, and it's a massive undertaking. And Ari Emanuel and The Rock, I believe, have worked together for decades on The Rock's Hollywood career. I think that Ari might have been The Rock's agent for many years. Okay. So they have like a history here.
Okay.
Ari buys WWE. Things are going pretty great, but there's also this brewing storm of like, oh gosh,
what are we going to find out tomorrow? And the allegations against Vince McMahon, they're horrible. And when you think about who's involved and the stories and the details, it's horrible. Like I thought,
because a lot of these people have been personalities on the television shows over the years.
Laurinaitis has taken a hit, huh?
Yeah. And we also know about a lot of other things that have happened with Vince McMahon that he just never got held accountable.
I didn't think that we would be venturing out doing a WWE project in 2024 with the years I've been a fan.
Right.
Thinking we finally got rid of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What? I thought for sure, and this is a little morbid, it didn't happen. I thought he was going to have to die to get
it took way too long, given what we all knew. And even as a fan, I'm like, yeah, we all knew the Ashley Massaro story.
Oh, God, dude, that was so bad.
Even as a fan, it's like we all knew that story, so why are...
Please don't rehash it.
But in any case, so I think what's happening right now, The Rock has had a wildly successful Hollywood career in the sense that maybe not. Yes, he's done a couple of like critically acclaimed things. Ballers was great.
I love Ballers.
Jumanjis were good. But if in any case, they're box office hits. They're successful.
He also
movies.
had the Tooth Fairy though.
I know. Well, and that's kind of my point as well. Is I think right now, The Rock is a board member. He's getting a huge. The Rock now has a massive incentive to care about the WWE in a way that the same way he cares about Terramana, the same way he cares about Zoa energy drink.
Is that his energy drink?
Yeah. Like,
Zoa? That's the one he's got?
I think it's Zoa.
No,
is that his?
I didn't know that that's the one he bought.
I think that's his. And I think Terramana's his tequila.
Yeah.
Project Rock and Under Armour. The same way he cares about those brands and those projects. I think we are now going to see him, at least for the next couple of years, potentially take a break from Hollywood. You know, maybe he'll still do some animated stuff.
Okay.
But
he doesn't have to be
he
on
has
set.
when you think about the money-making potential of WWE, he is now a board member
of $1 billion company.
A company that is growing. I mean, shit, I own stock in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
And
they say own what you like.
It's doing really well over the years.
I bought it when they were initially going to sell, and I just kept it through that.
So I think we're going to see The Rock hanging out, doing a lot over the next 2 to 3 years. Like, I don't think this is like a temporary, road to WrestleMania thing. Like, I think he's here to make sure that the business, like, really survives and thrives through the next 2 to 3 years of changes.
That's what I'm saying is, dude already said, and I do believe there was some truth to it when he said he wasn't in wrestling shape at the time when he said that. You know, like, we put these rumors to bed for a little bit because Rock was pretty convincing when he was like, I'm not in wrestling shape. But the true wrestling fans knew, like, why did he say something?
Right.
Like, he wouldn't have even mentioned wrestling if this wasn't in the way. So, Laura does, like, as soon as he had that, I was like, why did he say wrestling? Why did he say he's not in wrestling shape?
And when you think about it, we can really milk this for a while. Like, let's say The Rock doesn't perform
next year.
Let's say he doesn't perform at WrestleMania this year. Again, he's just maybe a special guest referee, still involved somehow.
I think he's gonna have a very prominent role.
We can really keep him around a while without putting him in a match for a while.
That's what I think. I think that's why they're leaning hard into this family tree thing, is because I think there's some people on the way. And I think there's some people already. I think Solo's going to get a pretty predominant role in this.
Yeah.
And the Usos are going to have to do something, which is weird that they're kind of drawing Jay away to fight Gunther. I thought he'd be tied into this at some point, but maybe best for him not to be involved. I mean, if Jacob Fatu's on the way, if maybe possibly the Gorillas of Destiny are on the way, like more of these guys from the family that we might have heard that their contracts are up and are coming to WWE and had prominent roles on that family tree. Like, you can't tell me they didn't put Jacob Fatu's name front row and center for a reason.
Right.
You know, so I think they have a potential to have Rock play a prominent role in this family thing, but more of he's the real head of the table orchestrating this and Roman's carrying it out. And then I think they're going to pit the family dynamic of the bloodline against all these people that they've screwed over. So I think Cody's gonna get help from like KO and like all these and Sammy and all these other guys that they've screwed over. So I think that's how The Rock can be in it. And then maybe they blow up in each other's face and we get Rock Roman next year,
right,
with no title necessary.
Yeah, I just think that there's a long-term play going on here. I think The Rock is going to be around. I think Triple H is back being a character. I think The Rock is now looking at this like, oh, you're telling me WWE can just literally be my playground again?
Yeah.
No Vince McMahon.
Good call.
And now I'm literally the boss. I can put myself on TV.
Eric Bischoff went through.
Whenever I want. I mean, I think The Rock is going to totally eat this up. And I think, when you watch this press conference, I mean, everybody's having a lot of fun.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Everybody's having
I'm a 38-year-old man who's been watching wrestling since he was 4.
I mean,
and I'm thoroughly enjoying every step.
I just love how The Rock says, members of the press, welcome.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome. And he just tells him, if you don't think that this is going to be the biggest main event, it doesn't matter what you think.
Like, we are getting 90s heel Rock.
It doesn't matter what you think.
He's trying to bring back right after Nation of Domination Rock, or Hollywood Rock, I guess, So
I'm here for Bloodline Rock out here. I mean, yeah, I think that there is a plan here ultimately to put Cody over. to put Cody over in a major way.
And I think if they do it right, Solo can be a star. If you really are bringing in Jacob Fatu can be a star. Roman can move into that part-time when he comes around, because I mean they got a big hole now with them cutting ties with Brock Lesnar. Like, you're a fan or you're not. He was there for the big money situations. So now Roman can kind of step into that spot if he wants to.
Yeah.
So I just think if they do this right, which I have faith in Triple H and his team.
Yeah.
A lot of stars can be, and this can get a lot of people where they need to be. Like, to be honest with you, Seth needs to take a year off and just heal. Like, I know he doesn't want to lose a year of his career, and I don't want to see him gone for a year, because he is, like, when that music hits, people lose their mind. I'm one of them. Well, but my man is broken right now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so kind of sad to see, I mean, the way Roman's talking to him.
But see, I also feel like there's setting to be some respect. You talk about layers to this. Yeah. Seth still has Roman's number. They still have to address that at some point. Roman's beat all these people. He still has trouble with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So
he did beat Seth at the Rumble 21.
He did exercise that day. I still feel like Seth's got him multiple times, though. Yeah. And also, like, that WrestleMania moment. Like, come on. Yeah. That's hard to come back from.
Totally. Yeah, that's the ultimate.
Like, we thought they were ultimately burying Roman at that time.
Right.
So, I mean, Seth was that guy. He was the star to get launched from the Shield. Yeah. It just took Roman a little bit longer to get there, because they had the Rock and Roman. They had to turn him heel. Remember, people revolted against the Rock at first. You had to turn him heel.
So do you think we are going to get Rock Roman at WrestleMania in addition to Cody Roman?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you think it's just one?
Yeah. I think they're legit putting Rock and Roman. I think they're positioning them to be on the same side at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they're going to be on the same side,
but have that underlying still not button heads type thing.
Because now it's very clear that The Rock is heel. Yeah. So he's not out here to make sure that the match goes. Yeah, that the match goes
right. Fairly. He's not a board member anymore. Right. He's heel. Rock. He's Hollywood. Right. You know, I am WWE.
So I think they put off Rock Roman for a while.
I think you got some smoke to that Triple H, The Rock. But, I mean, can Triple H even wrestle, though? I don't want to see a Sting Undertaker.
I mean, all these guys retire and then come back in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. You know,
I still can't. Like, that still breaks my heart. That's one of you know how you always have those. I wish I wouldn't have seen that. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have seen Shawn Michaels. Like, I am a Shawn Michaels. Like that. The first episode of the podcast. One thing y'all need to know: I am a Shawn Michaels fan. Did not need to see him get back in the ring.
No, so that was sad.
Yeah,
that was sad.
And I don't want to see Triple H and The Rock throw each other around and then find out they both tore their tricep.
What's up with everybody coming back and tearing their tricep immediately?
You know what I mean? So, like,
are they not throwing people around before they get into the Rumble?
Apparently not.
Like, come on, guys.
Also, I mean, we eventually have to address that. Is every match CM Punk has been in since he's really come back, he's injured himself. Yeah. Yeah. So how trustworthy is he going forward? Because you can't tell me that wasn't the plan. CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Oh, that was totally the plan.
Yeah.
That was totally the plan.
They were building that as soon as CM Punk came back.
So, okay, so now if we're talking about Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Okay, first and foremost, Gunther? What was that whole face-off with him and Seth a couple of weeks ago if they're not even going to have him in the Elimination? Like, maybe he's not the guy at WrestleMania, but wouldn't you want to see Gunther in the Elimination Chamber? Yeah. Throwing Drew McIntyre around? Them throwing each other around? Because clearly it looks like that's the route they're going, right? Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Redemption tour. Yeah. You know? But
you
can't have Gunther in there?
You think
I think that's the route. I think we're getting LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Okay.
I think they're building that up. Have no clue what they're doing with Orton.
I love what AJ Styles is up to right now.
Yeah, dude.
He looks like a comic book character.
Yeah,
like
he's beefed out a little bit.
Up. He's just got this like real heel vibes. I'm all about what AJ Styles is doing.
Who did he pick up the other night? Drew McIntyre. Picked up Drew McIntyre like it was nothing. I was like, look at this guy. Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing with Orton, but I'm here for the LA Knight AJ Styles, especially Lone Wolf AJ. Why are they still touting out the Good Brothers?
Right.
They brought out they came out with Michin for 2 seconds.
I was like, I didn't even realize they were with WWE.
Let those guys go home, man.
Yeah, I was like,
You keep bringing them back. You keep releasing them. You keep bringing them back.
Yeah.
If they're not going to be with AJ, what's the point?
right.
Because that's the whole appeal of them. Like, the club.
Totally.
But you're telling me you're not doing, which I'm here for. Like, because those years, that was some of the only years I truly followed TNA. Is the Aces and Eights? Is AJ part of this? You know, like he did the Sting Crow type situation, but he had the hoodie, the working man Crow. You know, like, so if they're doing that, I'm here for it.
But they're not doing that. No, AJ Styles is like on some like back alley stuff right now.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm intrigued to see where they go with it, but I'm hoping that eventually these 1,000-day title reigns are going to go somewhere.
Yeah,
too,
they got to
so
go away. Dude, I want to get
champions.
like AJ Styles back a title. Let's get Kevin Owens the title. Let's give Sami Zayn the
people
title.
are due
Let's give
for
some
it.
of these people that
So
title.
many people
like,
have been on the back burner for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I mean and even Seth. Like even Seth's matches, I'm kind of just like
That's the only thing that I'm really not digging.
They're protecting
from
these
any
guys.
of this. Is they truly are still letting us know Roman is
better
up here.
Yeah.
Like these titles are supposed to be, but they are selling it to us.
Why are they doing that, you think?
I don't know. I hope they're not headed for a like I don't want another unification. Like that's stupid.
You think they're going to unify?
God, I hope not. We just got this thing.
Whose title was that, you think? Triple H. I feel like that was Triple H's title.
I feel like Triple H. I just need some more clear-cut definition. I need them to start treating each other like equals.
Yeah.
I want that Survivor Series again.
Yeah, I don't like the way Roman was talking to Seth.
I want Seth to stomp his face in. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's what they're getting. They know we're behind. Like the more they put down Seth as the B champion, the more we're like, nah, he's carrying this thing.
Right.
So I just don't know why they keep trying to put that in our face. Like it was sold to us that Roman doesn't ever fight. We get that. That's why we have this belt. Leave it at that. Treat it as equals.
Right.
Because I want to do Survivor Series again, where it's champion versus champion,
I
IC
love
versus
when they did
US tag. Like what
it was
are
no
they
fun when Brock
doing
Lesnar
with
was
the
always a
tag titles, my guy.
Oh, right, because those are
They're still carrying around 2 belts.
right.
They've been carrying around 2 belts since the Usos unified it.
Yeah. Right.
Either just call it the tag.
Who's got it right
belts.
now? The Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Which I don't know.
I'm not
I think
sold
they,
on the Judgment Day
I think
at all as a
I think
faction.
they're painting themselves in a corner.
What are
Because
they
I
gonna
think
do
they
with
should have broke them up,
Damian
and they don't
Priest?
know what to do with them now.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with the Money in the Bank?
It's going to be time for Money in the Bank again, and he's still going to be holding on to it.
Like what? Are we gonna get a Damian Priest cash in at WrestleMania?
No one wants that. WrestleMania is its own thing right now.
Like
We don't
Damian,
need to.
and like no one's thinking about Damian Priest.
They did a bad job this year.
Yeah.
The only worst job they did was Otis winning it.
Yeah, they've really messed up Money
They
in
really
the Bank
need
the past couple
They
years.
need to knock it out of the park this year.
Yeah, with
which
Money in the Bank.
I think they will.
Yeah,
They're
what do you
trending in
think
the
their
right
plan
direction.
was with Damian winning Money in the Bank? Like, I feel like they
Well, I
missed
think-
their chance for Finn to do
I
something.
think for a second they were thinking of putting the belt on Finn and then causing that inner turmoil.
Yeah.
And then instead they're like, let's make them tag
Let's just keep
champions.
it on Seth. Let's just keep it on Seth. Yeah.
So I think it was one of those where they had a grand scheme in mind, but it needed to follow this specific plan, and the window's already closed for that specific plan. So I don't know what they're going to do, because now all signs are pointing to a failed cash-in.
Yeah.
Because what champion are you taking the belt off in favor of Damian Priest?
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like Damian, but they just haven't positioned him
You know,
to
it
be
would be great if Cody wins the title and then Damian tries to cash in on Cody and Cody beats Damian. Just be sick.
I think that would be way more effective than what they tried to do with Drew, where they touted out Big Show after he beat Brock Lesnar and had him beat Big Show on top of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
We're like, let the man take a shower and go home.
right.
So I think that would be more effective, a cash in, instead of just we all of a sudden the next Raw, like the next night on Raw, we're like, did you see what happened after WrestleMania? Like, no, I watched WrestleMania and y'all didn't show anything.
Right.
So I don't get it.
Yeah, so this was the WrestleMania kickoff press conference in Vegas.
I do love his
Super
spiel.
Bowl week.
I am visionary, revolutionary.
Yeah. Well, and you know, that's where the his attire. He's a visionary. He's
it matches everything. They finally got it right because
yes.
the Messiah thing wasn't it.
No,
the whatever the like this was the best Seth Rollins since the Architect of the Shield.
Yeah,
like it finally matches. It finally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hated that whole what he was doing before this.
So they're talking about this being the biggest WrestleMania of all time, which, you know, The Rock has said that for it to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time, you have to have Rock versus Reigns. So I do think I think that we are potentially going to get Rock versus Reigns at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. In addition to Cody versus Reigns, I do think I see a scenario in which Roman does get everything taken from him. I think that's really at this point how they've positioned it. That's the only way for the story to kind of be finished is I think for there to be a scenario where Cody has the belt, The Rock is now the head of the table of the bloodline, and Roman is out of the bloodline. And then has to fight the rest of the bloodline or fight his way back in.
That could be an interesting dynamic to see Roman getting treated like he's treated all of his cousins.
Yeah, like he getting the Jey
like the Rock
Uso
becoming
treatment,
Roman,
getting the Jimmy treatment.
So Seth talking for a little bit.
Yeah, so Seth's
which
talking.
I do appreciate them bringing him out first, but then they had Roman cut him off.
Yeah.
So again, setting up Roman here, Seth here.
Yep. Well, and I think, you know, the thing that I don't like about this moment right here is they're brothers. Not only are they brothers, they're both running their shows. They're both champions. Roman should have a little bit more respect for Seth right now. Seth should have a little bit more respect for Roman.
I do love that Seth's giving it right back to him.
I do love
the yawn,
it.
I didn't catch that at first. That's nice. I like that. This guy's still doing things.
Yeah.
Which is so funny for Seth to pick on someone's music going long because, my God. I love his music. My guy takes 30 minutes to get in the ring sometimes.
I will say Roman just looks great. He
looks like a star.
He looks
the
like a
good thing is these
star.
two look like the top guys in WWE.
Yeah.
And they are. And they're looking the part. They are finally
looking the part.
Yes.
I mean, they have finally grown into who they kind of were meant to be. True. In the business. It's a beautiful moment we're witnessing.
It is very, and I think that's why, you know, I know many people have said it, and I'll just reiterate it. Like, what a time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, truly.
In a weird way, this is what we've waited for too.
Totally.
Like, you can't tell me in 2012 that it was going to get
because when you really think about the issue, you know, and it's funny is I think we all doubted WWE for a few years, where it's like, who are y'all picking? Who are y'all creating?
You can't tell me Vince was losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. He was losing it a lot of bit.
I love this. Finally showed up for work once, getting a dig in.
Did he think that was a cut down? Like, what do you mean he showed up to work in his white shoes?
Wife's shoes.
Oh, wife's shoes. Roman going with the wife's, like, he'd be lucky to wear Becky's shoes.
But I don't understand the whole strategy here, even with Roman to.
I think they're trying too hard to really drive home how much of a jerk he is. To
belittle the other championship.
Exactly, it's not necessary.
But again, it is. You know, we need to see the fall of the Roman Empire. Like, they're creating.
He's too, as my grandma would say, too big for his britches.
Yeah,
and his downfall is coming.
Yep.
I mean, Paul Heyman behind him always is the cherry on top of every Roman Reigns.
My girlfriend loves Paul Heyman.
He's the best.
Yeah. She loves it.
I love that he started appearing on the Pat McAfee show. Yeah. Like, kind of giving an update, and he's still in character when he does it. So, like, he showed up on Pat McAfee, and he had his tie undone. He had the 5 o'clock shadow, and he's like, I've been with my tribal chief all night. We've been game planning for WrestleMania. Like, it was just, it was so good.
See, because you know what's weird here, though? So I don't like him calling him a bum.
Get this bum out of here. I mean, it's the whole wrestling adage.
This is where Roman's still trying to figure out how to, you know.
If anything, I hope this Rock's heel promo rubs off on Roman a little bit.
But you know what's funny, right? If you think about the way they reintroduced The Rock on SmackDown, and they had their face-off, there's a different... they pivoted the reason why they wanted to face each other. Like when The Rock showed up to SmackDown, it felt like he was showing up to confront Roman Reigns for his shitty behavior.
Yeah.
Then they switched to the press conference, and it's like, no, the reason they want to fight each other is because there's a blood oath, and it's the biggest money maker. It's the biggest box office attraction. It's not
what's
actually
best for
because
their family.
So it's funny. The Rock
that's
shows
the
up
narrative
thinking
that it is
The Rock shows up, and we think it's babyface. And then they did he goes, I think they were like, I guess I'm going full heel with this. Because I feel like he came back and they had a different plan. I think they've changed the entire plan.
That's the only plan I think they've changed. Like, I think it always was going to be Cody versus Roman. I truly believe that. Because I think it was Cody, Roman, Seth, CM Punk. And I think they pivoted to when CM Punk went out, to be like, we need to make Rock a little bit more of this.
Yeah.
And I think someone, be it Triple H or whoever behind the scenes, was like, what if we make them think it's you and Roman?
Right.
So
but
I think this was the plan. I think heel Rock is the pivot that they did.
Yeah.
Because I think Rock was going to be more alongside of Cody's side in this, and I think that's what they pivoted to.
And I think that this is a better story.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean,
it just does look weird that they tried to give us something else before this.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only part of this is like, wait, but what you said.
Yeah. I was like, wait. Well, when he came back, we were all like, oh, the superhero's back to save us from Roman Reigns,
right,
not to join Roman Reigns. I mean,
Nation
this whole
domination
look that he's got with this, it reminds me of like Corporate Kane when with like the slacks.
Like, this doesn't look real.
Like, is The Rock gonna wrestle and like shirtless and just slacks and a belt? God. I'd love to see.
But also, kudos. I think it should be a rule.
Yeah,
if you're after 50, you can't wear wrestling tights and
Yeah.
trunks anymore. You got to wear tights.
You got to wear
the tights.
Yeah.
You got to wear the full-on pants.
Yeah. Tights or slacks. One or the other.
Yeah.
You
like,
can
at least Cena's still hitting us with the jorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like something about a 50-year-old man's thighs just shouldn't be shown. You know?
You're not wrong.
Like Ric Flair all those years. I was like, for the love of God, man,
he
put on
pulled it
some
off,
pants.
though. He pulled it off.
I
didn't hate it.
Just put some pants on.
I'd love to see it, dude. Ric Flair was inspiring in those early years. And we watch Raw, I'm like, he's still doing
I just
this?
love that Ric Flair, in my mind, is like 95. And he's really, what, 73?
Right.
74. The Rock did really had to milk that entrance there, didn't he?
Yeah.
I do love that the fans have stood with what they wanted. They wanted
Yeah.
Cody.
You know, it's really great.
It gave that Daniel Bryan vibes, you know, from...
When The Rock is out there to feel the vibe, he's listening to everybody.
I do think if anyone's going to pivot in the storyline, Rock's for it. You know what I mean? Like, I do think there's a bunch of legends that they could have worked with that would have been like, but you said I'm in the main event.
Yeah, well, I think what we could end up seeing...
I mean, look at those arms, though, dude.
I think what we could end up seeing is, you know, again, The Rock aligns himself with Roman until WrestleMania, turns on Roman at WrestleMania, comes out the Raw after WrestleMania and is like, Roman, you've been an asshole, and it was time to take everything from you.
I had to infiltrate the bloodline in order to take you down.
I mean, dude, The Rock now has the opportunity to be Vince McMahon every week. Like, you know he's going to do that for at least a little bit.
So what champion do you want him to go up against?
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Who do you want to be his Stone Cold Steve Austin, though? Like, and it doesn't have to be that face-heel dynamic. Rock can be the face.
I mean, I think we could end up seeing Rock versus Rhodes. I mean, that's a massive match. I just need
to see that.
And that's the ultimate way to put Cody over as well.
Yeah. I do need to see that Rock LA Knight promo, though.
Because I think...
them going back and forth.
Yeah. But I do think... Yeah, that's going to be great. But again, I think that there's a long game here. Like, I think we're going to see Rock versus Reigns at WrestleMania next year as well.
For sure. Or
like, I think we'll see it this year, but I also think we're going to see it next year.
We also can't discount the fact that they've really been pushing SummerSlam the last couple of years. So there's always SummerSlam, which is historically WrestleMania Fallout.
Yeah. Because I think, you know, I think Roman's going to get some time off.
Which, goodness gracious, WWE, the amount of ads y'all have had in this.
Right. Well, dude, YouTube's a moneymaker, man.
I know, man.
That's why this video is going to be on YouTube.
Subscribe. Hit that subscribe.
Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe.
Subscribe to Project Nerd.
Yeah.
Shout out to Project Nerd having us. Subscribe to Evan Burke's YouTube channel.
Subscribe to Drew Harrison's.
Yeah, let's do it all. Hit
Subscribe to
subscribe
WWE.
fee.
Let's keep they're at 99.5 million. Actually, no. Take
it back. No, just hit us with
tell their
subscribe.
subscribers to subscribe to us.
Yeah, but also subscribe to WWE so they pick us. Maybe you'll see this on WWE one day. Yeah. But we're talking about all this and having plenty of time because The Rock is milking.
You know we're gonna get
now.
this attire of The Rock in the video game for sure. You know we're gonna get this outfit. He's like, I hear you. He's a board member now.
I love it. I want all the.
I'm telling you, dude. Him and Triple H.
I think they're more in on it than the internet's letting us believe.
What do you mean?
Like on the same page.
Triple H and Rock right now? Oh, dude, I think they're talking so much right now. I think they're having a blast. Again, I think this is The Rock's main priority in life right now. I think he's like, hold the books on Hollywood for a couple years. Like, I want to make sure WWE survives. Because my family makes a massive living off of this.
His daughter's
he now
in it now.
makes a massive living off of it now. And he can be the star. He literally can be Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
What Vince McMahon was. And he's a great actor. It's a great playground for him. Honestly, like, I'm stoked that he is a board member, that he's involved. Like, to know that it's not just Ari Emanuel, no offense. It's just like, you need someone that understands the creative behind this whole thing. And The Rock is he understands, and Triple H. Knowing they're in control creatively
30 plus years in the
fantastic.
Business. Well, that's what I'm saying is we went from, in my mind, very scary times with who's going to buy this.
Yeah.
Is Disney? You remember when they were talking about Disney taking over? Can you imagine Disney owning W? So we literally went from worst case scenario
to best case scenario.
To now we got Triple H, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels running NXT and WWE respectively.
Right. And again, from a business perspective,
all the producers they have. Jordan, I love Aldis and Pierce. Like, I'm on board with everything they're doing.
And on a business perspective, Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel, like, they're crushing it. They're putting WWE in markets that it's never been in. Again, it's people are loving this. People are loving this, the way that they're integrating, like, real life press conferences and stuff. This was a monumental event for them.
It was a massive success. And I mean, people are taking into account, like, this was the same reason John Cena was effective for so many years. Because when people got tired of loving him, they loved booing him.
I mean, dude, So I feel like half the crowd loves chanting, "We want Cody." Yeah.
And then the other half is just happy The Rock's back.
I'm happy The Rock's back.
I love both. I want Cody and I'm happy The Rock's back.
Totally. But I was like watching the Joe Budden podcast, and they were talking about Cody Crybaby.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, the fact that people are,
he's basically telling people this is what it is.
The fact that people are talking about this at such a deep level, people care. Again, it's the element of The Rock, Roman Reigns. People understand the bloodline.
Look at that.
Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes. People understand.
Right.
I mean, Dusty Rhodes is an icon.
You see any other names that jump out where they're like, they might bring this guy over? Trinity's back. I'm just saying they put Fatu right there for a reason. Oh, Lance could come over. Lance and Noah.
Well, you know, and you got to admit, like, I don't know if you've watched Young Rock on NBC.
Yeah. Love that show.
But for those of y'all that are listening, go watch Young Rock.
So
they
much
do an
wrestling
amazing
history.
job, really. This bloodline that he's talking about, it's all talked about on Young Rock, and it's all pretty much, the story is told through Young Rock. It's really great.
Look at that. Can you imagine having to make that graphic in WWE and hoping you don't mess something up? Like, could you imagine being The Rock
they approved it,
or Roman right now being like, no. Royal fam. I didn't realize he said that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want Shane O'Mac to come back and start hitting everyone with chairs.
Yeah, he's like, don't you forget that one, man. Well, I mean, you know,
and WWE's like, we want you to forget
they are
about
absolutely. I mean, when Triple H came out, his opening, they're rewriting WWE's history without Vince McMahon. And,
no doubt.
And it's
It's
You
necessary.
you either die a hero or
My man was a villain from the start. We just didn't know about it. And you know what's great is I was born in the same hospital as Vince McMahon.
no way.
Yeah. He was
Jeez.
born in Pinehurst, North Carolina, more regional hospital.
You almost had different nurses.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I was born in the same hospital as that scumbag.
I mean, the story they are telling is truly fantastic.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see what we got. The I'm not gonna lie to you, the hand thing, that was a bit much.
What hand thing?
When Rock and Roman doing the "come here, brother," bit Fast and Furious-ish.
Yeah.
You know.
But again, yeah, it's weird because again, it's like it's for different reasons. Like it's not The Rock calling Roman out for his terrible behavior. Cody always looks good, dude. Just looks like a star. I went to the same high school as Cody Rhodes. Last year high school, married to Georgia.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We used to see Dusty Rhodes at Publix. Hey man, Dusty Rhodes, yeah.
That's what I mean. We grew up in North Carolina and Georgia, respectively. Possibly two of the most wrestle history. I
Totally.
mean, minus Tennessee, you know, with Memphis and all that, Cornette and Smokey Mountain and all that, but like big wrestling history. Mm-hmm. Seth in
it.
the background. Do you think we get any offshoot possible of Cody and Seth teaming up against Rock and Roman? Anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I think
I thought that's where they were going to the Elimination Chamber, but I don't think they're going that route.
I think that would be great for Elimination Chamber. I think they should do that at Elimination Chamber. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. You're doing
And
a
The Rock
massive
doesn't have to do a
international
lot.
show. Like they haven't really announced anything major for that. I mean, I think
other than the two Elimination Chambers.
honestly,
spots.
if you're trying to warm them up beforehand,
we do get Rhea versus Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad they're burning that at Elimination
that's
Chamber,
still
not
gonna be a
WrestleMania.
great match. It's gonna be fine.
I know.
When
I
is
just-
Nia
I
Jax
want
gonna
Rhea-
join the Bloodline? WrestleMania. I think something massive happens at WrestleMania with the Bloodline. Like all of them.
They either go away or get way bigger.
Yeah. Or the Monday night after Raw. Or the Monday
My
after.
favorite, I almost like the Monday night after Raw or the Monday night after WrestleMania more than WrestleMania sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the sheer, you kind of know what's going to happen at WrestleMania. You have no idea what's going to happen on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I still remember Dolph cashing in and people losing their mind when Big E was his heavy.
Yeah.
Which you think we'll ever see Big E in a wrestling ring ever again?
What's up?
Think we'll ever see Big E wrestle again?
No. No,
I think that's
he's
for the
done.
best, to be
I think
honest
he's
with
done. See, Roman talking right here. I'm just kind of like next to The Rock. It's tough.
Yeah.
He's still trying to fill.
I love this one. I love
Yeah.
that the grandfather line's probably my favorite part of the whole shebang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, take the jacket off. Get mad. So, were they trying to tell? So, were they trying to say that this promo is what brought Rock and Roman on the same page?
No, it sounds like they were on the same page going into this.
Triple H has been great throughout all this.
Yeah.
He's really selling it with his face, and he's like, these people think they're in charge.
Yeah.
And I love, like I said, I love Aldis and Pierce as the two on-screen GMs.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Why do you think Aldis called it quits a little early? Because
I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna end up wrestling.
You think so?
Yeah. I think
They
they're holding
just needed
off.
him in this role for a little bit because he's
Yeah.
doing it great. He's played it great.
Yeah.
And him and Pierce have history.
Yeah, I
in
think
the
they're really
NWA,
just
so that's
building his
great.
character.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're building his character.
Okay. Because I wouldn't mind Aldis Roman at some point. You know, I loved what Aldis did in it. He really saved the NWA.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
know
really
if
did.
you watched any of their stuff on YouTube and NWA Power, they were floundering and have since been floundering. They got Matt Cardona and EC3 right now, so it's okay, but Aldis was the NWA.
Yeah. This is where The Rock's acting is coming in so great for them.
See, that's what I'm starting to think.
He gets real Samoan right
Well, that's
there.
what I think. Like this, like I think Roman Rock were doing what was best for business, but I think Cody made it personal.
Yeah.
So I think now they're really trying to sell like, oh, he went there.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
go
what they're
there.
trying to sell. Yeah.
That was a good line too. You talk about the same blood that runs through him. That's my blood. See, so now we have a problem. Yeah, I think they're really being like, we were on the same page, united.
Oh, big smack. Love that.
Like Adam Pearce could hold Seth back.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I guess if Seth's got that messed up knee right now, so.
Yeah, he can't be doing too much out there.
Yeah. You think Pearce is like, hey, calm down, guy. Hey.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna do. I don't know if they'll do anything at Elimination Chamber.
I guess that's why, like, I just reminded myself, Seth can't go until WrestleMania.
Right. That's
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we're not going to be getting that.
Like, isn't that crazy? So much has happened in the WWE. I completely forgot that one of the champions is straight up injured until WrestleMania.
I mean, I could still see there being a contract signing and all of them being there. I mean,
Seth
it's still a way to have some massive star power in Australia without any of them having to do a match.
Yeah. We got to get Seth Roman somewhere. Survivor Series, right? Like, let's do it. Come on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're our Rock Stone Cold. They're destined to battle forever. We just hadn't got it lately.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
and
then The Rock.
I want to get a solid storyline between them before Roman straight up jet sets to Hollywood.
Yeah. I don't know that Roman's going to Hollywood yet.
You don't
I think he's
I
taking
think
a
he
break.
wants. Well, I think he wants to work less and less.
Maybe. I think he needs a break for sure. I think he needs a long break after this. After WrestleMania.
I'm saying disappear to a Royal Rumble.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Take the year, dude.
Exactly.
You can't tell me people would lose their mind if he shows up to the Royal Rumble
That'd be
after not
sick.
being around since the Bloodline collapsed.
Right.
And if you want say you do bring in Jacob Fatu, you do bring in some of the other Samoan wrestlers. Let Solo run it.
Yeah.
Build him up.
Right.
Give it a whole different dynamic.
Well, I mean, now, again, there's a lot more people that I would love for them to have the spotlight. I would love for them to have some of the main storylines.
This was a fantastic storyline.
Yeah.
Loved every bit of it. Loved the Sammy involvement. Loved the feeling Uzi. Loved Jay. They built Jay into a star.
Yeah.
We got to see something else now.
Yeah, but they're going to keep the bloodline around as long as The Rock is back.
Well, I mean, that was the new injection it needed.
Yeah.
Now we got to, like, not that Roman isn't a superstar, but, like, now we got The Rock.
Right.
You know? Like, so it is going to be very intriguing
Yeah.
to see how they do this. So we're on the road to WrestleMania.
We're on the road to WrestleMania. Well, I guess next thing we find out is next Friday on SmackDown, Rock, Roman,
Triple
back,
H.
Triple H.
All in the same building.
All in the same building. We're going to find out what's happening.
That was a good, I loved that part of SmackDown when Triple H told Heyman to leave.
Yeah.
And he's like, but next week I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Rock and Roman will be with me.
it's
You
so
know,
good.
it was just so
Money.
good. So good.
Money.
So we're here with you, part of the Project Nerd family on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to be here for the whole road to WrestleMania.
Thanks for listening to our first episode
In the can.
Spandex Stand-Ups.
We're going to be here with you every Thursday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode because, man, it is really heating up in the WWE world, and I am here for it.
Oh, yeah.